And the only thing you see reported in Parliament is our member of Parliament from Kiki Batangan or something, the one who's being charged for illegally marrying his second wife, you know. And then shouting at Karpal Singh, you know, and Karpal Singh wants to say something, and he stands up, and Karpal says, "You sit down," and he'll say, "I can sit down, but you're in a wheelchair, you cannot stand up." I mean, that's the only thing that's ever allowed to come out of Parliament. But you'll be surprised that we have a very active. Now, what they should do, and we've always said that, and it's a personal, I would say, a pet subject of mine. Pakatan Rakyat should now announce the ministers, our shadow ministers, so that we know. Like I said, we had Hatta as was it health minister, I think you were, and we had Jomo as finance minister. Rustam was remember Rustam Sani? He was our information minister. So yes, and I was secretary of the information minister at that time, you know. But I was supposed to do the misinformation rather than information. Now that they've done, and they did very successfully. All they need to do is revive it.
Right, the next question is state by state or straight to Putrajaya from our friends in Penang? It's, well, should we let Zaid start off with that one as the Pakatan Rakyat? Okay, right.
Hello. Hi. The answer is that we do it simultaneously. We do it simultaneously.
Thank you.
No, we do it simultaneously. Federal and state together.
Yeah.
I would like to go along with over time. We haven't much time, meaning we have gone through the administration for so long. I mean, this administration should have been over in the last election. So I think generally the struggle will be on the basis of Pakatan will be a march to Putrajaya and a march to all the state capital. We are already there in 4 states. I think it's all within reach, even though I see this now that people say Sabah, Johor and Malacca were difficult states, but I guess nothing is that difficult nowadays if we combine our forces. Previously, when PAS was alone after the 1999 election, we started well together in the Pakistan alternative, but when we broke up, we thought it was a good idea to separate the struggle for the state administration and also for the parliamentary administration, meaning giving stress in certain states, in certain states where we think we could have done better. That's why, but then they don't take off because we believe that the struggle should be for throughout the country. So we were equally serious for the state election, also for the federal election.
I just want to add my 5-penny word to this question of whether it's state by state or whether it's Putrajaya. We are quite clear in Friends of Pakatan Rakyat that our entire agenda is about change in Malaysia. And to facilitate this change, we of course have the ambition to win as many states as possible, including Putrajaya. There's no question. We are very clear. Obviously, politicians will be lobbying about the political Islam to this whole thing, but we being essentially non-members of any political party, we are quite clear. We will support and give them as much support to facilitate this change. And we can take the entire states of Malaysia into the Pakatan arm and thereby facilitate the change. so be it, including Putrajaya. Thank you.
I'd like to add that, of course, the main strategy is to maintain the states that we have won. That goes without saying, especially Penang and Selangor. There's a lot of focus on that. But I think there's a real room to win over Perak if their French elections were called. Sabah and Sarawak, for me, have been one of the primary winners following 2008 general elections. Because right now, for a fact, the AP, even Pakatan, we have been making a lot of trips to Sabah and Sarawak because we understand the ground is very fertile for reform, and it's also very important to sort of gain understanding on how much Sabahans and Sarawakians mean to us. Even before the 2008 general elections in 2006 and 2007, we've made a lot of forums and dialogues, even training for Semenanjung leaders to go to Sabah and Sarawak and understand the issues affecting them before 2008, mind you. So that was an overt attempt by Pakatan to, being some people from Semenanjung, not to think that you know better, but in fact you're supposed to learn a lot from the people of Sabah and Sarawak. So I think these two states are very crucial in it's chicken and egg, certainly, but to win over Putrajaya, you cannot lose sight of at least winning considerable amount of seats in Sabah and Sarawak.
Right, I realize it's getting a little bit late, and so perhaps for the next couple of questions that we have, we could...
There was one question asked.
That's right. Yes, that's right, yeah. So we could speed up with the shorten the answers.
I think the main agenda or the aim of this Friends Pakatan is to concentrate on Malaysian politics and how to consolidate the support of our nation outside to ensure victory. As far as the international lobby is concerned, I think we have to tread carefully here because we don't want to be seen as being influenced by external forces, while at the same time, we feel that we can do it within our own Malaysia. So, but getting ideas, exchanging of views with any foreign NGOs or political parties, I think that's perfectly okay.
Thank you. And so the fourth question was, how do we get the message to the kawasan pedalaman in Malaysia? And the second question, I believe, was about the implementation of Sharia law and the position of women. Revamping. Thank you. So start off with perhaps kawasan pedalaman, the spread of the information. I think Nurul, you were in was Sabah, was it recently, or yeah? If you could just give us a little bit of information on that.
Well, before that, I wanted to just mention about the international observers,
Okay.
international support part, because we have always maintained that we need international observers to monitor the running of Malaysian elections, because we are fighting for a free and fair election proceedings, and I think international observers are a key part of ensuring that happens. And the Malaysian chapter, Mafrel, is very active, but we would like other groups as well to come. The second is having, for example, the International Bar Association to monitor the Anwar Ibrahim case, because it's very important to compile evidence and ensure that the fact-finding team gathers as much evidence to prove that political conspiracy exists and it permeates throughout the judiciary. Back to orang asli, the kawasan pedalaman, I think we should not underestimate them, because from my trips to Kampung Putaton, which is in the interior, Pakatan of Sabah, for their untuk Ngadau, which is the contest for the beautiful Kadazan Dusun ladies in that particular kampung, they seem to be quite well versed of the issues there. It's just that we have to be sensitive, that we're not there to tell them to vote for change, but rather to understand the local considerations, local sentiments, local problems, before you can convince them that we indeed offer something better for them. So I think it's always important to listen to the grassroots in that particular area, regardless of the local people, the local leadership, rather than coming from Semenanjung and saying that we know everything. So the approach counts, and Dr. Zahid Ibrahim has been very, very successful in his meetings, and I think we will ride on his success, and we hope that that sort of information is disseminated in the kampung-kampungs in their own dialects, in their own languages. Because previous to Sibu, they even banned the VCDs prepared by Thomas, which is in the local dialect, if I'm not mistaken. Petra can correct me if I'm wrong on this. But it was I think they confiscated the copies of the VCDs because it's important in the local dialect, so they understand the issues and they're ready to sort of embrace reform.